An Albuquerque mom is outraged. She says deputies terrorized her son, who was homesick from school, when they raided the wrong home. According to a lawsuit filed in federal court on Monday, a 15-year-old boy was at his South Valley home with a fever in November 2012 when deputies busted into his room and pointed guns at him, then screamed at him to get out of bed and get on the floor. The mom says they then cuffed the boy and demanded to know where his drugs were, but they had the wrong guy and the wrong home.
Officers cannot just beat down your door, come in and rip you out of bed, throw you on the ground, cuff you, take you wherever they want to take you.
Deputies were looking for a different home where they believed someone was selling pot. The lawsuit states no drugs were found in the home which the family was renting. Bernalillo County would not comment on the lawsuit. The Rio Rancho police officer who was killed on duty in a crash will be buried on Thursday. Anthony Haas was responding to a domestic violence call when he crashed his police cruiser on Idalia West near Highway 528 Sunday morning. The 24-year-old officer had been on the force for a little more than a year. Police are still investigating what caused him to veer off the road. Funeral services will be held on Thursday morning at 10 o'clock at the Santa Ana Star Center. It is open to the public. Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department has issued a silver alert for an elderly woman who's been missing for 5 days now. Deputies are now looking for 93-year-old Claire Miller. She was last seen at her home in the Northeast Heights. Miller was supposed to drive to California Friday morning, stay the night in Needles, then head to Southern California by Saturday morning, but she never made it. Deputies say she may be driving her 2005 Lexus with New Mexico plates FOXYOMA. If you spot her car or have seen her, you are asked to call the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department.
Well, 6:03 now. Parents and students are sick and tired of this. Some massive traffic troubles at one of Albuquerque's most popular high schools. Sometimes they sit in that line for a half hour to get to school, then to leave. But the district has plans to change all that and is talking about that today. News 13's Catherine Mazzone is live at Atrisco Heritage Academy High School. So, Catherine, what's going on here?
Well, Matt, what's going on is this intersection over here. It's 118th and Dennis Chavez. And they say that's the problem. It's the only way for you to get here. It's the only entrance, paved entrance that is, in and out of the school's parking lot. Just a couple months ago, concerned parents met with APS, and APS says they listened.
They're looking at timing of signals, the number of left turn lanes, the amount of capacity and the flow through. So it's a pretty complicated thing, and they're the experts at that.
That's APS Chief of Operations Ruben Hendrickson. He says the district is working with the state, city, and county to come up with solutions, and they think they have a few that will work. Tonight, they'll present them to the community, and parents hope their ideas do work. Atrisco Heritage is the largest school in the state with more than 2,400 students enrolled. Now, Hendrickson says these fixes will come in 2 phases. The first phase, that's stuff that they've already done or plan to do, like lowering the speed limit from 55 to 45 on Dennis Chavez and adding a second turn lane. They'll start that next week. But what the school might need are those phase 2 changes. We'll talk about that coming up in our next half hour. Matt, back to you.
All right, thanks for the update this morning, Catherine. Again, the meeting is tonight at the school in the Performing Arts Center. It starts at 6 o'clock. We'll be there and let you know what the district has to say. Now, here's some more details we want to let you know about the funding for the Priority 1 project. It's set to cost APS about $60,000. The Priority 2 plans that Catherine will talk about in about a half hour add up to nearly $1 million. And APS says it's going to have to get some help from the state for those.
We are only a week away from Election Day, and tens of thousands have already cast their ballot. The Bernalillo County Clerk's Office says as of yesterday, more than 33,000 early votes have been registered, and more than 10,000 absentee ballots have been returned, and they expect more to be on the way. The Clerk's Office says they sent out more than 26,000 absentee ballots. At this point, the numbers are on track with the 2010 voter turnout. And remember, our campaign coverage continues online at KRQE.com, where you can find early voting locations, a voter guide, and all of our election stories. Of course, join us on election night next Tuesday for all of your election coverage.
Well, a state district judge is delaying a decision on whether independent voters can vote in primary elections. We were in the courtroom yesterday when Judge Denise Barela-Shepherd said she wants both the Republican and Democratic parties to weigh in before she makes a ruling. In June, David Crum filed a lawsuit on behalf of the 250,000 independent voters here in New Mexico. He wants independents to be allowed to pick a party on the day of the primary so they can vote. Right now, only registered Republicans and Democrats are allowed to vote in primary elections.